in the private chat.
See, that's what happened. That's what when I copied the link last time. That's what came up. It was crazy, but
crazy
Rockstar.
long, yeah.
Just the rockstaradmin.com.
The rockstaradmin.com.
Yeah, and it just links to that same Kartra page.
And goes through it and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Very cool.
There we go. All right, let's do it.
Now it's scrolling on the bottom. All righty. Well, good evening, Spray Wash family. I'm glad to have you all here with us. Before we get started tonight with Mr. Jonathan Maynard, and Jonathan is one of the new owners of the huge convention. But before we get started tonight, I just want to give a little shout out to the family of John Lang. John passed away earlier this week, and we just want to give our condolences and our sorrow in what his family is going through. So y'all keep the family in your prayers, all that. That would be absolutely great. So, all right. So tonight we're going to talk with Jonathan Maynard. We're going to talk a little bit about the huge convention, and we're going to talk about something that's coming up here. What did you say? It's going to be March 8th and 9th, and this is also going to be in Opryland, isn't it?
Yes, so we decided to put it at the same place just because that is such a cool resort right in Nashville, and it's central to a lot of people. It's an easy airport to get in and out of, so that's why we decided to put it there.
Awesome. And so the one that's coming up here in March is going to be called the Rockstar Admin Bootcamp.
Yeah.
And I don't know all of the speakers. I think most of them are ladies, though, isn't it?
Yeah, we really focus it around that because a lot of times your admins are going to be ladies. So we really wanted to provide them a place where they could go and get trained and be able to speak the language. The trainers that we've got lined up really are experts in their field, whether that's in administration, accounting, sales, marketing. So we put this group of people together to be able to provide that value to folks in the industry.
With lots of I know one of the names in particular. She's about this tall, about that tall. Yeah, about that tall. She's a little spitfire. Goes by the name of Tanya Burke. Who else are y'all going to have there?
So we've got a really great lineup of speakers. First of all, we've got Michelle Myers. She owns Pink Collars, and the reason I asked her was, who better to train admins than somebody that owns a company that if you needed an admin, they provide that service. So she really knows how to train administrative people. And so, a lot of times in your company, you may be in the area where you need administrative support. So you hire a third-party company, or you have your own admin in-house, kind of like what we do. And she's really good at teaching systems, processes revolving around the administrative sphere. Martha Woodward, she owns Quality Driven Software. She's really an expert in culture. So for your administrative person, a lot of times they are your keeper of culture. They know when everybody's birthday is. They get the cards. They do the things. Me as a business owner, if I try to remember everybody's birthday, I would be like insane trying to figure it out. So they're the keeper of the culture. So she's going to teach how to develop systems to make sure that stuff stays on track. We've got Taylor Maroney. She's co-owner of Pure Power Washing. She's really good in marketing. She knows how to set up Facebook posts. She's got a whole system that she's going to deliver to set up Facebook posts for like 3 months in advance and give them the content for doing that. We've got Megan Likes. Megan is a financial wizard. So a lot of times with your financial person, with your admin, they give your bookkeeper, if you've got a bookkeeping service, they give them the information. They're collecting receipts. They're doing kind of the financial minutia. So she's going to help set up systems for how to make sure that they're getting the correct information. And then finally, we've got Tanya Burke. And the reason I asked her is she is tremendous at sales. So priming the pump, answering the phone, being able to make sure that if the sales call is going to the owner or whether it's going to somebody on a sales team, that customer is ready to buy when they pick up the phone.
She's okay.
She's all right. No, she said, I told her, I said, I remember she did a speech at the Huge several years ago about butterfly marketing. And being able to take that. So if, she's going to go in there and give that knowledge to admins to help them be better at their job. So we've got this really just powerhouse of people that's going to deliver the training. So how it all came about was we, at the Huge convention, we really want to deliver training. We want to help people 10x their business, grow their businesses. And one of the big gaps in the market that we had looked at is administrative training. As a business owner, I've got a power washing company that I grew from me and a trailer in my garage to where we are today. And I'm terrible at administrative tasks. I know how to do the thing because, when I started power washing, I was spraying water on houses trying to get them clean, which was terrible. Learned how to do that. And then I learned how to sell the thing because if I didn't sell the thing, I didn't eat and I didn't work. So I knew those two things. The thing I stunk at was administrative stuff. And so it doesn't come natural and I can't train it.
I think I can speak for the one that's over you. Wait, let's see if I can jump over. He sucks at administrative stuff. I suck at administrative stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, that's the way it is. Well, that's.
And I'll tell you what, though, I'm probably going to, luckily I leave for IWCA at 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I might get lucky and she'll be asleep whenever I get home. So she may not beat me too much. Tanya sucked at the administrative stuff too. But, oh God, she's listening. She's here.
Oh, she's right there.
But she trained herself to be amazing at it. And so this is one of those things that if you feel that you're lost, if you feel you can't do this, it's all about making your systems. And I have seen that woman create systems. And Tanya's not an overly techie person. And, a lot of her systems involved on note cards and calendars and writing stuff, forwarding it in a calendar and using a Rolodex system and an Expanda file. And she rocked it. She absolutely rocked it. So this isn't something where you necessarily, and if she's going to share part of that, with her class, and it's not just, okay, you've got to be on a computer and, it's so funny, but we were sitting here, she may just kill me for saying this, but, part of one of the speakers is very into Trello boards. Mm-hmm. Tanya's like, what's a Trello board? I'm like, I don't know what the hell a Trello board is. We had to look up what a Trello board was, but we were very non-techy in our office. If we were probably a little more adopters of technology, some stuff would maybe have gone easier for us, but we're old school. We're in our 50s and we weren't like gigantic technology revolution type people. But I'll tell you what, she made herself learn systems where she couldn't find a system. She made her own system. And boy, the rest was history. And most people know our story. And this is why, we're sold our business and, we're able to breathe real easy now because, it was about system. Because she used to always fuss at me because I would write something down and she's like, you're going to lose that. You're not making yourself an appointment. No man is she would write it down. You are not an island. Say it with me. I am not an island. And you have to rely on your team and on your system.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, real quick, let me touch on this one question that popped up, and that's Lou Zender is saying, so the Huge is in Nashville in August. Yes, the Huge is in Nashville in August, and it is on the 17th, 18th, and 19th of August. And then part of what we're talking about too right now is I got to look at my notes. My brain isn't working tonight. The Rockstar Admin Bootcamp, and that is March
10th and 11th.
Right. And I'm gonna put this ticker at the bottom. I did. If anybody hasn't seen that is the fundraiser that's running across the bottom now for John Lang. If y'all want to donate to GoFundMe, it'll be administrated, I believe they said, by his sister for his 2 young daughters that are left behind. So very, worthy thing. But so for the Rockstar admin that is owned by the Huge, the website is now up there, and we'll run John's GoFundMe here in a bit also as well. So
yeah.
You were saying something about the event. Did I have the dates wrong?
Sorry, Doug. I gave the wrong event, wrong dates for the event, which is why I need an admin to keep me in line. It's
there you go.
5th and 11th, and it's a 2-day event. The really the reason that we're doing this is to provide that value to folks, whether you are a business owner and you need administrative help, or you have an admin, you can send them to this. And really, it's going to be an event where you have a giant bunch of takeaways. If you go to the rockstaradmin.com, you kind of scroll down, you'll see the takeaways. So there's a ton. I can't read them all, but there's going to be, a digital dashboard of your company. If you are into digital dashboards, they are going to train the person how to kind of create these things. But when you walk away, you're going to have these systems. Email templates, Facebook marketing stuff, talking about the customer journey and how your administrative person can support that. And the other thing is how to replicate themselves. So maybe they're terrific admin. Maybe they want to move to sales. Maybe they want to do something else. Maybe they're going to, morbidly say, get hit by a bus. Well, no, maybe they win the lottery and they're going to move on. Well, you don't want to spend this money sending them to this training and then it's lost. So we teach them how to create videos of how to do their stuff, how to use different tools to create captions, timestamps, and things like that. If they are super techie, they're going to love it. If they are very not techie, then it's going to be not techie. They're going to be able to walk away with things that make sense for their business and have ideas. Updates on the times for the Huge. Absolutely. It's August 17th, 18th, and 19th. We're at Nashville. We're at the Gaylord Opry Lane Hotel. If you go to thehugeconvention.com, you can get your ticket there. We are in, I think I talked to you guys about this, but what we're doing this year for the Spray Wash family is if you use the code Spray Wash, you get $25 off. That way, anybody that we have promo codes to, that it's giving back to the people that are attending. Ray and Doug aren't making a penny off of it. Wait,
what? Huh? What?
Sorry, but
damn.
That way you can register with that. We have. One of the things that we're doing for the Huge is we have such a better registration system that we just launched a couple of days ago. Finally got it set up where you can go in, you can make your, you can buy your ticket. If you want to get the VIP package, you can do that. If you need to make a change, you can do that. Tickets right now are $179 a ticket. And then if you want to bring your team, it's just $125 for the people on your team. And that way you can save some money there. If if you're a business owner, you want to bring your lead tech or you want to bring somebody from your office, we're going to be doing employee tracks specifically for employees. So if you have a service manager, they're not going to be lost. Last year I brought, one of the owners, but I brought my company and I brought my service manager. And the thing that he told me was really good information. I didn't think there was a lot for me as just an employee. There's a lot of how to market and how to do this. So we have an employee track that is specifically designed for employees. We've got, great instructors. We talked to Doug about teaching a very specific class on how to, what the employees can take from it. So
yeah, it'd be a class basically for lead techs and things that they can do and look for.
We actually had someone, one of our good friends in the industry brought his whole company, the Plant and Property Protection, last year. I think 6-7 technicians that he had. Wanted them all to, and he had gone through it before and wanted them all to see it, for themselves. Made us feel, really good about that. Going back to talking about the Rockstar admin, one of the things that I love, it's so much fun to work with your spouse if you never have. And so we play a lot in the office and would have fun. But hearing Tanya on the phone, if you can pick up, and I believe Tanya's doing a part on phone skills there as part of her thing. And she used to literally, she would toss a sheet at me and she'd say, "Here, go take an order taker." and she's like, they're closed. I've already closed them on the phone. I have no idea. This could be a $10,000 project. It could be a $2,000 project, but literally all you have to do is show up and look at the project,
down what they want,
price, because they're closed. I have built this relationship over the phone with them in the 15, 20, 30 minutes that she was on the phone with them, and on the converse of that, there were so many people that I've literally heard her eloquently tell them basically go to hell. And she said it so nicely that they were like looking forward to the trip.
Yeah.
And that's part of pre-qualifying your customer and understanding who is your customer and who isn't your customer. And I mean, I would hear that lady answer the phone and talk to these people. And it was just like, we're probably not the right fit for you, but absolutely you can call such and such. And it might have been one of our competitors that we weren't really trying to help them out, if you know what I mean, by referring that job to them. It is what it is, And yes, absolutely. This is all a business tax write-off. So don't forget that. One of the nice things about having it at the Gaylord in Nashville is, wow, what a great place for your family.
Yeah.
And I think that we actually have the dates of the huge convention wrong. And let me explain that, because it's the 17th, 18th, and 19th, but it's actually more like the 15th through the 21st, 22nd, something like that, because you bring your family, you enjoy some time in Nashville, and have yourself a good time. And a lot of that is a tax write-off. And so you do want to get there on the 16th because there will be classes starting on the 17th in the morning, the paid classes, not only by the Spray Wash Academy, but there are other classes that are going to be happening there. So Spray Wash Academy will have 3 classes that we'll be doing. There'll be the basics. It'll be an introduction to soft washing and roof cleaning. We will do the plant and property protection class, and then we'll do a special that is metal and other specialty roof cleanings kind of a thing. And who else do we have going and having classes on that day?
So far, we've got you guys. Howard Partridge is going to be doing a sales boot camp there. And I've been talking to a couple other people that are really interested in bringing a class there. What we don't want to do is have competing classes where you've got a bunch of people doing the same kind of class. So I really am looking at some varied stuff. So if you want to go to the Spray Wash Academy, do their 3 classes, and your lead tech is going to go do these other classes, that way you can kind of get the best of both worlds. Or if you're a husband and wife that work together, and I noticed that in our admin boot camp,
a lot of that
is that it's a husband and wife, and he's going to be doing one thing, she's going to be doing another. He's sending her to the Gaylord for the admin boot camp, and then he's going to be there, playing golf or whatever else is going to be happening there. But yeah, absolutely, business write-off. We picked that hotel for the family friendliness. We're really wanting to change it up a little bit, and really bring it to where this is where you can bring your family, enjoy a vacation on your company dollar, and be able to write it off. They've got the water park there. We're looking at doing a golf tournament if that's your thing, and other events that are going to make it just a more cohesive, more family-friendly environment for you.
I love this. I got to get a plug, because Leslie he brought his techs up in Iowa when we did it there, but he uses double the red tape. But he's going to keep sending his guys back to plant and property protection, Absolutely. It's
one of those things. If you don't perform the right stuff with plant and property protection, you're going to spend most of your time replacing plants, bushes, God knows what else. that you guys are, your guys are doing overspray and things like that. So if they don't know, this class is going to give you the basics. We buy the red tape from Uline, and we buy it by the case because we follow what you guys have taught, and we see a great decrease in the amount of callbacks and the amount of crap that we're breaking.
It's crazy, but there's guys that are one of the popular forums that now has 12,000 people. It's kind of popped up here recently, and things get so cyclical in this industry. And now the big thing with so many new guys is what they call the gas roof pumps, which honestly, for the neophyte, for the new guy, there could not be a worse pump for you to be spraying death juice on properties on. And I see the videos of the main proponent of this, literally see porch lights flickering as he's spraying and getting water in there. I'm waiting for something to burst into flame, but don't see any tape on anything. Don't see any Tyvek on houses. Now the good news is you're spraying out 10, 12 gallons a minute, so you can really flood the place. However, you've still got to wrap up some electric. You've got to do some stuff to these houses, and especially the nicer, the higher end houses that are having stained wood ceilings and some of these just crazy coatings out there. Mm-hmm. Boy, you are playing with fire. It really is true. If you look at a lot of the newcomers in the industry that are spouting off and doing stuff, and then after about 2 years, you don't see them spouting off anymore. Actually, you don't see them anymore.
Exactly. Because they got sued and now they're out.
Yeah. Aaron Williams nailed it perfectly. 12-minute washes. Absolutely. I mean, these guys, it's not about how fast you want to be efficient. Obviously, you want to be efficient. You want to work hard. You want to do things the right way, but it's not about. And whenever you're having somebody stroking you a $500-$600 check for being there for 45 minutes, you're eventually going to get a horrible reputation out there. I promise you. And whenever guys that are trainers, are preaching this out there, they're really setting a bad example for you newer guys that are in here, because it's not a speed contest. It's something done really quickly can cost you so much time and money that you'll boy, I wish I'd have spent that extra 30-40 minutes
done that.
Washing stuff. Ryan, to see, the gas pump, roof pumps are flamethrowers, and they absolutely are. And everything has their time and the place. I love the gas pumps. Whenever we're doing a big stucco commercial project or a big brick project without so much landscaping on there, and I can really, really throw it. I mean, Tim Azelton built for me a 23-gallon a minute booster pump. I mean, that was a bad pump. That was an amazing pump. I'm used to throwing out some serious flow and water.
You better not wash your house with it, though.
But exactly. The other problem is too, a lot of
you have to have the supply for it.
Oh, a lot of these guys are sitting here talking about this, and they don't have the water supply. And unless you're putting that 300 to 500 gallon, tank on your trailer out there, you don't have the supply to keep up with that. Your average house is filling up at 5 gallons a minute, but you're going through 10 gallons a minute. If you've got a 200-gallon tank, that's you're going to run out of water in a quickness.
Yep. That's because Ray sold his business and he's flaunting his wealth.
You like the rich Corinthian leather? You like the Attila the Hun chair? Yeah, baby.
It's nice.
There you go.
Actually, my beautiful wife, bought that for me. Marco had asked it, and you had mentioned, Jonathan mentioned Uline, which with my new store, boy, am I getting familiar with that Uline catalog. Woo!
Well, just so y'all know, I buy my red tape from the Power Wash store in Tallahassee, Florida.
Yeah, and Lou just mentioned it. Proper equipment for the correct job. Absolutely. And that's That's one of the
That
things
was
that
anything.
it really anything. And, obviously the basis of our business is a pressure washer, and I can soft wash with a pressure washer. Let's say I can soft wash with that. But then, and I always still hear should I go 12 volt or a booster, or should I do that? Well, yes, do both. Why not have multiple ones on there? I was telling somebody the other day, they're like, oh, I don't know whether I should go with a downstream or an XJet. I'm like, you're literally talking less than a $200 investment for both of them. And every one of our trucks had both an XJet and a downstreamer, multiple downstreamers on it because they're crap. And that wasn't even our primary soft washing system. But whenever the primary system went down, I wanted to have a secondary system. Whenever the secondary system went down, I wanted to have a tertiary system on there.
People are often surprised to find out I don't downstream. So
Yeah.
we use the booster pump and we use the 12 volt. And I mean that since our trucks typically have three systems on them. They've got a booster pump, they've got a 12 volt pump, and they've got a pressure washer. I've never had if the booster pump goes out, I've got the 12 volt. If the 12 volt goes out, I got the commercial pump for applying chemicals. So I never had the need to do that. So I just never did. Didn't care.
Oh, yeah. Aaron liked the tertiary. Heck yeah, that's a big word. Ryan brought a comment here, and this was absolutely, he messaged me, Facebook messaged me, and this is a group that's out there selling classes right now. And I was shocked whenever I went to their website today to see this. But on their website, one of the things they offer is 100 images of before and after pictures that you can use. And then for $149 or $179, as part of their training, they're literally selling you the pictures of the houses that you've watched, that they somewhat has watched.
They're going to put on your website that you've watched.
And they'll put them on your website. And then there's another 100 pictures you can buy, for another $150. And I'm thinking, that is just, wow. I don't know even how to feel about that you're selling pictures of jobs you
took from off the internet too.
Yeah. But I've let guys use pictures before, especially pictures where we're working on a bid together and they're saying, Ray, I'm doing a large brick building. Do you have an example of that I could use? Yes, here you go. Or hey, I'm like, well, do you have pine trees in your area? Because here's a picture of a roof, but I'm not saying, hey, go use this picture in your marketing. One of Brandon Vaughn's, pictures that he used in his marketing was an image that I had that I said, Brandon, because he said, Ray, that is a great roof picture. And I said, absolutely, use it. And he went and gussied it up and he did like a split shot image on there and made it better of an image than I ever could have. And he was amazing. And he did it, with my permission as well. But he never actually sat there and said, hey, this is a job that I did. In fact, I even saw in several places where he gave me credit for it.
Hey, so real quick, Aaron Williams is on here, and Aaron Williams had asked earlier, or made a comment earlier, not on the live here, but before the live. And he said he's really on the fence about going to this Rockstar admin thing. So being how that's part of what we're talking about here, if we could, let's back up a little bit. And if you would give your sales pitch to Aaron on why he should go ahead and do that. And also, while I'm saying that, what is the cost of that?
So I'll start with this. As a business owner, whenever I'm looking at going to an event, whether that's a conference or whatever, I ask myself this question: am I going to be able to generate a 10x return for that thing? So if it's going to cost me $1,000 by the time I, pay to get there, say the huge convention, if I can't get $10,000 worth of value out of it, then I shouldn't go. And that's really the mantra that us as the owners of the Huge have put on, is if we can't put on an event that's going to give somebody 10x value, we have no business putting it on. we are all business owners. We all have our own soft wash companies, our own other companies. We don't, we're not trying to become millionaires with this. So we're really looking at giving back to the community that really has helped raise us up. So if we can't give something that's going to be a 10x return, then we have no business putting on, and we should be ashamed of ourselves.
Yeah. Right. There's a guy who wrote a book, and he's probably smarter and wealthier than any of us will ever be, but Grant Cardone. And that was one of his books, the 10X rule on there. Yeah. And it's, it's such a truism in life, and it's a good read. And you should seek to 10X your relationships. You should give by. You should give back 10 times as much as you get. I mean, and it really feeds upon itself. So I just want to throw that in there about the 10X on there. And please continue on it, Jonathan.
Yeah. So when we were coming up with this admin bootcamp idea, because we were approached by several people and said, hey, can you do this for us? Because we need to be able to send our admins to training. So I was like, yeah, we can put the people together, get everybody in the same room, and make this happen. So there's several different levels that we have. The top tier level we have is the conference plus hotel and meals. So they get 2 nights at the Gaylord Opryland. If you go to the Gaylord Opryland and try to book a room right now, it's like $300 a night. It's super expensive to stay there. But the reason we chose that place was for the experience. So if it's you and your wife, or if it's you're sending your admin, you can kind of pamper them and have a really cool place. So you
Not to interrupt you, but I think that also gives to if you send somebody there and they work for you, that to me, if they're looking at this and this is a high dollar quality thing, I think you're apt to get a better paying. They're going to pay more attention. They're going to be like, this is serious.
Mm-hmm. The book was the 10X rule, I think.
Yep.
So you get that. You get conference seats. You get breakfast each morning, which if you've ever had breakfast at a hotel, that gets expensive. But we're providing that so that they don't have to worry about it. So as a business owner, you could just send them. You don't have to think, okay, I need to give them a credit card and they've got to pay for this and this and this. So we got that. We got lunch. And then the other thing that we're doing is we are putting them all in in one big Slack workspace so that they can ask each other questions. Okay. As a business owner, I can't really answer administrative questions without having to look things up. So if they go, hey, what is the best, payroll process for this, or what is this? I may have to think, okay, hang on, let me figure this out. And then I'm going to go ask people, hey, what do you guys use? So they really can put everybody in the same group and they go, hey, what do you do for this? Or, hey, I've got this issue. So that way the community is really generating those answers for them. And it's people that have all been to that training. So for the all-in package, you're looking at $1,975. If we're not delivering a $20,000 value, then we have no business doing this. And I am certain we can do that through the takeaways that they're going to get. So, if you go to the website, the rockstaradmin.com, there's a thing down at the bottom that's going to give you all of the takeaways that we're going to provide. Or if you want to send 2 people, and we probably had 10 people that are sending 2 people, it's $31.25 if you share a room, because then we just essentially we took out the cost of the room. Right. We have one that's just conference, hotel, and meals over 3 payments, so it's $675 a payment. So if you're on a budget and you want to kind of spread it out, you can do that. If you just want conference and meals, but you're local to Nashville, it's $14.75. Or if you want just a conference only, if you've got a very restrictive diet and you can't eat the crazy stuff they serve there, then you're looking at $13.25. All of those prices are right on the website. But really, it's about the value that you're going to get there, and we're confident that when you send your admin there, you're going to get thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of systems. Lou asks, is there going to be a recording of the event later to reference? So we do have a virtual only option. If you just can't attend, it's $4.95. Really what that's going to do is it's going to pay for us to pay for a videographer to be there and pay for that. So for the people that are attending, we're going to have different recording options. And again, it's not a sales pitch. We're not going to try to sell them anything. We understand they're just admins. They are there to get value, and we feel very honored that you're entrusting your employee to us, and they're not going to get a sales pitch. The people that we're having there, we're paying them to present this stuff, so they don't have to get value out by selling a product or service.
Well, I mean, I know that Tanya doesn't have anything to sell there. She doesn't have a product. She doesn't have a, hey, you need this, but if you really want my secrets, you got to buy this. Tanya doesn't have that, I mean, you're getting her earnestly, you're getting her, for 2 days and getting to talk to that. And if I could interject this as well, and think about that. So $2,000 on there. If you had an admin who's answering the phone and got, let's set the bar low, 10% better on the phone at closing, or dear God forbid they get 20, 30% better on there at closing, or even setting appointments, or 20 or 30% more efficient. If you're at $100,000, and I'm using $100,000 because it's real simple for me to do the math. If they're 20% more efficient, could impact the bottom line. That's $20,000. That's your 10X right there. If you're a $200,000-$300,000 company and you're 20% more efficient, and efficiency might not be just, okay, I've got $1 return on this, but think about the time. If you're 20% more efficient with your time, if you're 20% more efficient with anything, or it's beautiful. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Yep.
Well, and especially like the fact that they're doing the payment plan now. Are you doing a payment plan on the $3,000 package as well? If there's two people there, or
yeah, if you need that, just email us. We'll figure that out. When I set it up, I just did it for the one person. But if you need the payment plan over 3 people, it's administratively, it's fine. We're also doing for Spray Wash Family, save $100. The next 2 weeks, if you buy, just use the code Spray Wash, take $100 off of the 1975 package.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem. You guys have provided so much value to me personally. It's just one way that we can help give back to the
Thank you.
family.
We appreciate that, Jonathan, very much.
Yeah, definitely appreciate it.
And think about this, and going back to this thing of if somebody let's say that your admin spent 10 hours a week on payroll, and we made her 20% more efficient on there. So now that's 8 hours a week on payroll. We've now got 2 more hours that she could maybe spend on Facebook marketing, on YouTube marketing, on just whatever other tasks are lacking in your office. I mean, if we can be just a little more efficient, because so much of what we do is based on efficiency. And just like out in the field where we need to be efficient on our trucks, I wouldn't drive, if I had 3 jobs in a day, I wouldn't drive 30 miles down to that job, 30, and then 40 miles back up north, and then go down to another job 20 miles down south of that. I mean, I'd start out, I'd work my way to that one, and then I'd wind up at that one. I mean, it's us being efficient with our processes. Our office itself should be just as efficient as we are as technicians, Mm-hmm. And eventually, we talk about small percentages, and 20% is a huge jump, but 10%, people are like, that's small. Whenever you become a company of 600, 700, 7-figure company, you make your money around the margins. Would you agree with that, Jonathan? I mean, and if we're at $1 million and we can become 10% more profitable or 5% more profitable, it's $50,000 right there.
Mm-hmm.
And that pays for your administrator, right?
Yeah, that's a salary right there. That's a whole salary.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Absolutely. And whether you are small or big, if I made the terrible mistake when we were small of just forming these like really bad habits and extrapolated. So if you get it right when you're small, it's going to make things so much easier when you grow. I remember when our company hit that 700 to 750, purgatory of just
starving for oxygen and starving for money. Yeah.
I made way more money personally. I made way more money at a $300,000 company than I ever did at $1 million company.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy how you get into that death zone of that 900,000 to like $1.2 million, and you just start starving in there, and it's nuts how that works out.
Yes.
It's just crazy.
So if your admin is more productive at that point, they can do multiple jobs. They can do things that if I would have had this, a year ago, we could have been more productive with our time, and I wouldn't have had to hire an extra CSR or things like that. So if that admin can help just be more efficient with what they're doing, it's going to save so much money on your payroll.
There's a theory in business, well, in life, but in business as well. And also, I wanted to give a shout out to Pressure Wash Punks. They're in the house. Love you. I actually went and searched you the other day. I don't see any videos up, but those videos are some of the funniest freaking videos I've ever seen in my life. And I want to also say hello to Carlos. Good to see you, my friend. Always good to see you, Los. Yep. But what the heck was I about to say?
We weren't listening to you or paying attention.
You didn't listen to where I even started on there, and now that thought was just poof and gone.
See, this is where Pressure Washing Punks is bad, right? He just took a great show and just sidetracked Ray completely.
Yeah, Pressure Washing Punks are adorable. They're the totes. They're the totes and the goats. I think where I was going, Jonathan, about what you said was, you develop these bad habits, and the bad habits go along to your admin assistants, and the bad habits go along to the people, that are, what if you could start them off with good habits? What if you could, oh my gosh. I mean, it's so important to have those good habits.
Even the simple little things and you said it earlier about, going 20 miles this way and then 40 miles that way and then 20 miles back this way. The little things that you pick up, even in these things, you might spend $2,500 going to this, and you pick up one little teeny tiny nugget. I remember when I first started out, and man, I would send the trucks out, and okay, we're going to send you over here and you over here, and work your way out. Great, you get done 3:30, 4 o'clock, and you're headed back in. That was stupid. Why was that stupid? Because at 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30, whatever, when they're finishing up, if they're getting done at 5:30, they're stuck in traffic coming all the way back. Yeah. It wasn't until that somebody had said something you don't even think about. It's stupid. I should have known to begin with. So I changed things to send my trucks the farthest out, and even though they've got the traffic that they're dealing with in the morning, I would send them the furthest out, or I would send them to a job really close, then to the job furthest away, and then catch the last one coming back. Mm-hmm. That way they're out of all that traffic, and save me a huge amount of money every year by doing that.
We did something similar whenever we leased our first office, and it was crazy because I want to say it was, we were only about that $400,000 range at that point, and it was like going to be $1,500 a month, or $1,700 a month. And plus your cable, and plus your your light bill and all the other expenses. But we've got, guys, with keys to our houses and coming in and now we're doing hoods in the middle of the night and we do night shift work and they're dropping off trailers and trucks at our house at 3-4 a.m. It was just time, but we started looking for the place, and we could have literally gotten double the office space for half the rent on the northwest side of town. But whenever I started looking around, it's like, that's where the rush hour happens. And that's where the worst roads are. And I'm thinking, okay, I've got 4 technicians at that time. If I've got 4 technicians and I'm paying them all at that point, probably, and this is years ago, but $12 to $15 an hour on there. If I add up, and let's say it's an average of $13.50 for an extra hour a day for 5 hours a week for 4 guys, I'm actually saving money by getting the more expensive space in the more conducive area to where I work out there. That's efficiency right there.
Hey, quick little backtrack into it because that's what I do, right? Anyhow, so the huge convention is happening in August. It's in Nashville, Tennessee, at the Opryland Hotel, Opryland Resort, and it's going to be the 17th, 18th, and 19th. You want to get in on the 16th if possible. The classes, paid for classes, start on the 17th, start at 8 o'clock in the morning, run up till 6 or 7 in the evening, whatever they are. And then the huge convention, open classrooms, starts on the 18th and 19th. Mm-hmm. And then before that, right now, happening in March, which is next month, on the 10th and the 11th is the Rockstar Admin Bootcamp, which that's what we're talking mostly about right now. So if you are having some troubles with your administrative duties and things that I suck at or administrative things that Jonathan sucks at, or administrative things that Ray sucks at, or it's what we do as guys for the most part. We suck at those sorts of things. You can send not only either your spouse or yourself or one of your employees to go and take part in that Rockstar Admin. Again, Jonathan Maynard is sitting here saying 10x, right? He's, I got to say, I really like that that's where you're going with this. And this is where the huge convention is going, with that mindset of you've got to have at least 10x value in whatever it is that you're paying us at the huge convention for. So I give you props for that.
Yep.
Wild West, for the admin just at the bottom, the Rockstar Admin for the huge convention, it's thehugeconvention.com. Yep.
And the ticket, you can get $25 off the huge convention spray wash. How do they get the $100 off for the Rockstar Admin?
Same code, spray wash. Whenever you go to checkout, just put in that code, drop $100 off. Nice. And we're really looking at upping the game for our attendees and being able to provide that 10x result. Even with the huge convention, it's easy to do the huge convention. It's $200 on some hotels. It's easy to get your 10x there because just you have giants in the industry that
you don't get your 10x there.
You're not trying.
Yeah. And we're really changing our registration system. It just went live a couple of days ago, where you can go in, you can alter your registration, you can bring employees. So if you're going to bring an employee, you pay $179 for the ticket. Right now, your employees are going to be $125. And you just go in there and you can register. It's super easy. You can edit your registrations. We're doing like the t-shirt pre-sales and all that kind of fun stuff. And we want to make it a better thing. One of the other things we're doing is your name badge is going to have a QR code. And when you go to a vendor, instead of having to hand out your business card, they can just hit your QR code real quick and get your name and your email address so they can send you information. It's going to be really good. We've got 130 vendor spaces. We've sold out more than half of the show right now. And we're really wanting to bring in people that are going to provide you value. We don't want people that are just going to sell you the latest thing, but we want people there that are going to help you level up your business, whether that's, a better chemical, it's a better accounting system, it's a better thing. Or maybe you want to get into Christmas lights. That was a game changer for our company, doing the Christmas lights. We're really wanting to make it to where we are the premier convention for the home service industry. And so you can go there and you can level it up. That's really our heart as the ownership group. We're standing on the shoulders of Thad and Chris, who did a great job there. How much is a vendor space? If you go to thehugeconvention.com, get a booth. It's anywhere between $3,000 up to, I think it's like $7,000 for a giant one. We've got some vendors that just want to really spread out. Power wash.
Hey, I want to toss this out there though, and he's actually, the guy is from Nashville, and I want to say one of the biggest complaints that I ever heard, and he was a cleaner from Nashville, and he went to Atlanta. And he publicly was just blasting how he learned absolutely nothing from the huge convention. And it was quite funny because every time that we saw him or he was doing a live stream, he was out at a adult dancing establishment, should I say, and he would roll out of bed at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon and stumble downstairs after all the classes were done. And then just, sit around and was just felt too bad. And then would go out again to another topless dance. And he literally had, because we kept on saying, hey, where is he? Where are you? We're texting, oh man, out dancing, out partying. And it's like, and then he had the audacity to go, I didn't learn anything at the huge convention. Dude, you weren't at the huge convention.
You were at the huge convention.
You know who I'm talking about, Doug. He was the mouth of the South, it's great.
Yeah. If you don't participate, then that's absolutely, you're not going to learn anything. One of the biggest things that I ever picked up was even the conversations in the halls, like after.
Absolutely.
Learning 100%. From people and being humble about it, and just listening to the people who were giving you gold nuggets that were good, not people that, we're trying to have a measuring contest and you can smell those guys a mile away. The BS meter goes off. Forget about those people. But it's the people that are really just humble and just like, hey, I tried this. They're speaking from experience and they're not speaking from theory. It's, I've tried this and I did it, rather than, hey, you should do this, or this always is the way it should be.
What do you think about Groupon? Let me tell you what I think about, that kind of thing.
This is what I learned.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. And you also have to remember, again, when whatever you're talking about, it also depends on area. When with Groupon, it doesn't. Groupon just sucks.
In your opinion,
in my opinion,
Groupon, it didn't work for you.
Actually Groupon works, right? It works really, really well. Why does it work really, really well? Because they're giving 50% off of whatever it is that you're doing. And then they're taking 50%. You're losing money half the time on the service that, if that's your client, man, you got to rethink this.
Hey, 1 second, I've got to share this, because the whole thought that I had a minute ago that evaporated, it just popped back into my mind, and I don't know.
Say it before you lose it.
There it is. It's something they call is it the Pareto Principle?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that the Pareto Principle is the 80-20 rule. It's the Peter Principle of where people rise to the level of their expectations, or they sink to the level of their expectations. Mm-hmm. And so you may have an administrative assistant that's not cutting muster, that's not doing, but as your leadership, if you have not set the expectations with them, absolutely, they're going to be right there at the level that you've set for them, because you haven't set the expectations. You, as the business owner, might not know any better. By coming here to the Rockstar admin, you're now able to set a new level of expectation. You're able to say, this is what you should be. And even if you don't say it, they're going to see what a Rockstar admin looks like. And maybe they come back and teach you a thing or 12 about, this is what I should be doing. This is what our company needs.
Along that line, I would even go so far as to say, if you send an employee out there, when that employee comes back, I would even go so far. So first of all, keep everything as positive as possible. But I think I would take this down a little bit different road, just to not say, what did you learn? Right? Forget about that. What can you teach me?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're my employee. What can you teach me? Okay. What is it that can make me better to help you be that great rock star that you are?
Yep.
And one of the things that we really focused on is making sure it's an intimate group. We've got it limited to 50 people. We're close to getting sold out at this point. The reason we did it is twofold. One, it makes it a more intimate environment for questions and answers.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing, we wanted to keep that community that we're developing right afterwards, the free Slack community, small, so that that people aren't afraid to ask questions and answer questions and things like that. So we wanted to keep it as kind of a tight knit thing so that they could get the most value out of it. Because at that kind of teaching, if you have 100 people in the room, they're going to be afraid to raise their hand and ask a question, or they're not going to be able to network as much because they're going to be lost in the crowd. At 50, you can't get lost in the crowd.
Right. You know the bad side of what you just said?
What's that?
Do you know what the bad side of what you just said is?
What's that?
I'm saying keep everything positive, but there's something negative out of that, right? The negative Nancy can't say this is just a money grab, because if it were a money grab, they'd be selling unlimited seats, people. Yeah. This is about giving you true value. Otherwise, they'd be saying, oh, yeah, fill as many seats as we possibly can. No, they're limiting it to 50 people.
Yeah, it would have been cheaper for us to have unlimited seats. You know?
And the actual definition, I just looked it up, the actual definition of the Pareto Principle is people work to their level of incompetence on there. And so it's your job as the boss to make them more competent. Your job as the owner, and I hate the word boss, I really do, but your job as the owner, or as Mike McCallowitz told me, as a stakeholder in a corporation, it's your job to inspire and train and teach and give people the tools they need to excel and blossom. And don't let them rise to the level of their own incompetence, because they will rise to the level at which you allow them to rise to. People can really amaze you at how much they want to succeed, and they want to do good, and they want to please, and they want to excel.
And if you share positivity with them every day, Carlos and I were talking the other day about this, and that is just speaking about things positive all the time, trying to keep things in a positive fashion all the time. That really wears off. I mean, or really wears off on the people around you. It helps make them become more positive. If you stick with the things on a negative light, it helps keep you down. So try to always keep things in a positive light. You'll be surprised what that can do for you and those around you in that atmosphere.
Yeah, it helps with culture. Whenever I do new employee orientation, I tell the people, look, I've got one job as the business owner, and that's to make sure that you are the best version of yourself as possible.
Yeah.
And I tell them, I say, look, I'm not under the false illusion that you're going to spend the next 30 years working for us. People find other jobs, they find other opportunities. That's great. One, when you leave here, if you leave here, if you're not a better person than you left, if you don't have more skills, more leadership skills, then I've done a terrible job.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's huge for them, because they go, okay, this person is actually really committed to my personal development, and really just focusing on, look, we have really just responsibility as a caretaker for our employees, to give them every opportunity to excel. We want them to make sure that their butt is in the right seat on the bus. And until we challenge them, we really don't know what's up. You could have that helper technician that's really one day going to blossom into a service manager, but until you give them things, you're not going to know. Until you challenge them, you're not going to know. And they may never know. They may just think, well, I'm just a helper and that's all I'm ever going to be. And you could really challenge them.
Yeah. Hey, just so you guys know, we're getting up there on an hour, Ray, and
hey, I'm gonna pop that John Lange fundraiser underneath there. If y'all didn't catch us at the beginning, we lost a member of the pressure washing community earlier this week or late last week. There's a fundraiser for him there on the bottom. If you'd like to donate, he left behind 2 beautiful young girls. So, be great if y'all got an extra 50
help and some prayers and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. $100 or something you could donate to his family would be wonderful.
$1,000, whatever you got.
Yeah, whatever you got. 5, 10. I mean, as little or as much as you want. But then also what Jonathan is on here, specifically talking about, we kind of evolved into a discussion of the huge, but specifically coming in here at the Rockstar admin coming up here very, very quickly. And, send your administrative person, your administrative staff to this. Let's get them trained up to be absolutely the best they can be and help solve those back end problems of your office. So, because how many guys are amazing cleaners? There's so many guys who will sit here and, we see it on the forums all the time. They'll debate, they'll talk about 12 volt versus booster versus gas pump versus blah, 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 and spend hours a week thinking and talking and working on that, but spend no time at all working on the administrative side of their business. And,
which could be more valuable.
The guys that I know that, and I'm not, your version of success is up to you. I mean, it might be 100,000 a year. It might be $250,000 a year. It might be $1 million a year. I mean, that's one of the things I truly love about this industry. There's no rule book that says you've got to do this, you've got to do that. But I do want to point this out. If you look at the guys that are truly like financially successful, that have the larger companies, you don't see them out there really debating the merits of 1-wire hose versus 2-wire hose, or the booster pump breaks, every 6 months and I have to rebuild it. I mean, these are the guys that are like, all right, where's the Amex Platinum at? Boom, buy another one, put it on there, let's go, buy spares, and we got to keep production moving.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You will evolve into that, and you will find out if you want to grow your business, you will find out that the front of the house is so much more important than the back of the house whenever it comes to having a successful business.
Absolutely. And Jonathan, how many seats do you feel like you have left there at the Rockstar Admin Bootcamp?
I don't know. Not a ton. I got a Voxer earlier from the person that's tracking that, and they said that they're selling like hotcakes now. Because we've been really just pushing it. I've been talking on different programs about it, and people are really just seeing the value of it because it's one of those things. It's not something you can Google and get training on. You can't watch a bunch of YouTube videos on it, and it's something that people are going, finally, please take this person, send them back to me. Or if you're somebody that's thinking about, hiring an admin, but you want to learn this stuff first because you're just that kind of person. You're just like, okay, I want to get these takeaways, and then I want to give them to an admin. So we've got several people that are owner operators that have techs out there working the stuff. They're doing kind of a sales role, but then they're really on the cusp of getting that admin. Then they're coming to this to learn those skills. Mm-hmm. So it's no matter what level you're at, it kind of makes sense to get these things dialed in now, because we're for us, I'm up in Virginia. we're coming out of winter. We're heading into spring. Now we're trying to figure it out. I'm eating my own dog food on this one. We're sending our admin to get trained. I'm paying full price. I won't even use the discount code. But because I
was going to say, we got a discount code for you.
But I really believe in it that much because I know that they're going to come back with stuff I couldn't have thought of in a million years.
Well, Jonathan, just type in spray wash at checkout and it'll knock $100 off for you. So, and Rich,
Absolutely.
Awesome, buddy. I'm glad to hear you're working on a huge quote. I love huge quotes. I love it.
Love to see some of them big quotes going on out there. And just so y'all know, I mean, Ryan, you know, I love you, buddy. We try, especially when we have guests on, we're just trying to, be respectful of the guests and make sure we don't hound them for too long because, Ray and I can talk forever and ever and ever, amen, kind of a thing. So that's the only reason that we do that. You know that. I know you're just yelling at me for no reason, but that's all cool, right?
and Jonathan, speak to Lou's question here because I believe I know the answer to that, but what Lou's asking, will the attending people receive documents to reference later?
Yeah, absolutely. So they're getting printouts of all their stuff. They're getting systems to take away. This isn't a learn and then go think about it kind of thing. This is practical exercises that we're doing. It's not like going to a class and then you come back and then you kind of get in the swing of things. You're like, crap, I forgot about everything. They're getting documents, they're getting systems, they're building the things while they're there. If they want to do a Trello board, they're going to be putting together Trello boards, or if they want to learn how to set up Slack, or they want to learn a system and just put it on postcards at this point or note cards, they're going to learn how to do that there, and they're going to be able to.
I'm the note card guy, and then I lose the note cards.
So Trello board is just, imagine just note cards.
Right.
And you can just take and move them around. I had no idea what a Trello board was earlier until about a year ago. And it was actually Michelle Myers that set it up. And she is such a giving person, her heart. She literally gave me pre-filled out Trello boards that she had spent probably 100 hours setting up and just gave them to me for nothing, saying, hey, this is the work I did.
Right. It's funny. I didn't know what a Trello board was, but I realized I did know what a Trello board was because we've seen them for a couple of years now. I just didn't know it was called a Trello board on there, but kind of a workflow, and different options, and you can move stuff. Yeah, they're really pretty cool. So,
from the old days, we used to just use the melamine board. That was our Trello board, right?
Well, Doug,
same
Doug, here's our Trello board right there.
Yeah. Just that's old school, and nowadays they're talking new school stuff.
Do we each get a key, Lou? I'm sorry, I'm not following. It's probably late.
Let's see.
You can have your Chevy back. I'm just kidding. We still got that thing. We bought a truck from Lou a couple years ago. He was selling one of his flatbed trucks, and we were using. We've been using that thing.
Is that the one that he was saying, Lou? I think that's the one you were saying. I just had some sucker buy. Oh no, that's different.
That was probably the one. I said, if I'm going to buy a truck, I want to buy it from a firefighter because they're used to just working on trucks all day and just making everything all perfect and nice. Not like whenever I first got started, I'm like wires everywhere and didn't matter. And
I always bought those used FWC trucks from government auctions that when they would go in, they'd like, okay, let's take the emergency lights off of this thing. Okay, what's the best way to do this? Diagonal cutters, clop, and it may have hit like a main fuse or some other wire in there. We spent so many time hunting down vampires and ghosts in those trucks. Oh, it was
said, Luke, he said he may take me up on that. It's got a brand new transmission in it. That's a whole other story.
That's making me think of this one right here. I don't know if I could get it. This is my project right now. I don't know if you can.
That's the hood of your not the hood, but the roof of your old truck, right?
No, that's the hood on the new truck that I'm using to fix the other truck. Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
Craziness.
Literally,
Well, guys,
yeah.
y'all have wasted another valuable hour and 10 minutes of your time listening to us drivel on, as Jacob likes to say. Jacob Deal.
He's in the background watching. He's going to make fun of me. And, he already made fun of me a little bit. He sent me some text. But so recap real quick. We'll get out of here. If you guys are out there, so huge convention is happening this year, August 17th, 18th, and 19th at the Opryland Resort in Nashville, Tennessee. And then also on March 10th and 11th is the Rockstar Admin Bootcamp. And so y'all be there, be square. You can find all that information at therockstaradmin.com or thehugeconvention.com. Appreciate y'all for listening to us. And Jonathan, thank you for being here and talking with us this evening. And really appreciate it. As somebody said here, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys. See y'all.